and I would like to welcome you to our Tuesday night midnight soiree, where you know in your heart you are welcome here. You are welcome as a beloved of God, as a child of God. And I invite you to be still in your heart and to experience the peace and the joy that comes when you have surrendered your heart to all that is true, that you are a child of God, that you are called by name, whether you are a believer or a non-believer, a skeptic, an atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, a Jew, a Hindu, a Muslim, a pagan or Wiccan. It doesn't matter what label you have. What's more important is that you were brought here to this earth plane with your full consent, and not to suffer for past life mistakes, but to experience the joy and the peace of being in love with a creator being who has many names, but the name that I'm comfortable with is the mystical heart of a loving God. So let us come together from the four corners of the earth and sit at one table, the table of divine love, the table where the cosmic Christ is sitting already waiting for you to come and to take his hand and to be touched in your mind, in your body, and in your spirit. Are you ready to come with me on a small journey, a journey to embrace the divine within you? The choice is yours, because you were given, as I was, the gift of free will to choose to serve God or to walk away. Let us light our candles for each other, and let us light our candle for peace in this beautiful though fragile world, where despite modern technology, the iPad, the iPhone, the Game Boy, man is still searching for God. He's searching for a meaning and a purpose to life. Well, let this light bring to you now the essence of all that is, that God is present, truly present, and he's here now, because he said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am with you. So he's here, and he's with you, and you may not feel it. You may feel at the moment worried, anxious, upset, weary, fed up with living, despondent, depressed, maybe have suicidal thoughts. You may be feeling utterly and totally bogged down with the pressures of living in a despiritualized world that has lost sight of the meaning of selfless love. I dedicate this flame to the divine in your heart, thanking God for bringing you to this table. In the name of our beloved Father, Mother God, who creates life and yours, and the risen cosmic Christ, who loves life and yours. In the name of the Spirit, who is the fire of life and yours. In the name of Gaia, our beloved Earth Mother, who nurtures the divine in all life and in yours. And in the name of all faith traditions, for they are the sons and daughters of God, our brothers and sisters. For Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many rooms, meaning other beliefs. And in the name of spiritual diversity, I, Brother Sean, on behalf of all my brothers and sisters of the Teo community of interfaith Franciscans, we welcome you to this table of love. Let us relax now. Let us take a deep breath and breathe in the very breath of God. Hold that breath and now release any tension, any tiredness, any weariness, any sadness to Mother Earth, for she is our Mother, who is the custodian with the blessing of God for all that we have. And all that is given to you and me is not ours to own, it is given on loan, to share, to share. So my grandmother said to me many, many years ago, my Glaswegian granny told me as a little boy, she said, son, she said, you came into this world with nothing, and when you leave it, you've no pockets in your shroud. And always be kind to those on the ladder of success, because there'll come a time when you'll slip and fall, and that's when you need your true friends. I count my close friends on one hand, the rest are acquaintances. But on that one hand, there are 3 exceptionally close friends, and of those 3 there is one I call my Anam Cara, my soulmate. And he died 16 years ago, a brother monk, where we were friends for 28 years, who died of cancer, age 42. So let us not be fooled into believing that we are left alone. We're not. I receive great support from my brothers and sisters, members of our community around the world. And knowing that you are here, knowing that you are joining us, is a tonic for my soul, for I know I'm not alone. So let us celebrate our divinity as a child of God. Let us be still now. Be still in the presence of your God. I'm going to share with you 2 quotes from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He says, optimism achieves greatness. What does he mean? He says an optimistic attitude is the key factor for success. Right from the beginning, if you hold a pessimistic attitude, even small things may not be achieved. Wise words. And again he says, regarding the signs of success in your daily life, as you learn more patience, more tolerance, with wisdom and courage, you will see it is the true source of success. I want to use this amazing manuscript, The Interior Castle. The more times I read this amazing book, written by Teresa of Avila, Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th century mystic who reformed the Carmelite order, it still continues to inspire me. And so much so, January the 4th, next year, we will be dedicating 46 weeks every Saturday on a live webinar on one of my live stream channels, and go live and go through the book from cover to cover. And you'll be amazed what you discover about yourself. But you know, to enter your interior castle, your soul, Teresa gives us a beautiful prayer. I'd like to read it to you. I cross the bridge into the silent bliss of my castle, my soul. I close the drawbridge and I forbid all outside influences from entry into this holy place that is my soul. I discover the depth and the beauty of my soul. I embrace the power of prayer. I open myself to divine guidance. I surrender myself to become as a channel for grace, for healing, and service as God directs my life. The words are from the book Entering the Castle, An Inner Path to God and Your Soul. It was authored by Saint Teresa of Avila, and the book was written by Caroline Miss, a great friend of Brother Rob. So now I want to share with you what my heart was given about 40 minutes ago, as I sat here in prayer asking God for guidance. And here we go. In the 9th room, it says, which choices have brought you happiness? Which choices have brought you happiness? How much of your happiness was really the result of something you choose? Or was your happiness the result of an odd mixture of experiences that seemed to come out of the blue? Some seemed to be disasters at the time, and others were the best things that ever happened to you. Which choices have brought you happiness? Well, it says here some seem to be disasters. Well, I shared with you a few nights ago that it was through a painful, bitter experience that I had 16 years ago, where I lost everything. Yeah, even the shirt on my back. Yeah, and it was all to do through being prescribed an antidepressant to help me cope with the death and dying of my dear friend Brother Eddie, my Anam Cara, my soulmate, my prayer partner, the one who made me laugh. Oh yeah. And 3 months after his death, I couldn't cope. I was so alone. It's as if I'd had a stroke. I'd lost the power in my arm. And there was an emptiness, a loneliness. I missed his laughter. How selfish was I? But the 4 years that followed that were not good years. They were disastrous years, for I was introduced to mental illness and severe depression, which almost took my life, where I was suicidal. And you know, out of that bleak time, that awful time, God had a plan. So man's disappointment, my disappointment, was God's appointment for today. Because it was through those barren 4 years, in a wilderness of pain, where I was so fearful of everybody and myself. And I remember crying out to God, "Why have you forsaken me? I've dedicated my life to you. Why have you abandoned me in my darkest hour?" I heard nothing till 4 years later. Because I love you. Because I wanted to empower you to set yourself free from being controlled by others, and for you rescuing others. And the only way I could do it was to lead you to a place of safety where you would be cared for. And I bless that time now. I bless it with all my heart. For out of those 4 years of real suffering, real loneliness, it was my breakthrough. At the time, the walls were closing down. And I can empathize with you when you share with me in your messages and emails of personal problems you've had to face, and trying to come to terms with it, and why is this happening to me? Well, I said that to God. Why me, Lord? Why should I be saddled with mental illness and live with bipolar? And he said, why not you? If you love me, you will embrace me, and I will make you strong. But take your eyes off yourself. Take your eyes and stop being a victim and feeling sorry for yourself. And look to your God for the support that you need and the direction that you should go. And the more you wallow, he said, the more you block your abundance. We had a saying in Ireland, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Once it's spilled, it's spilled. Let us come now. Let us come to this monastery garden here, where there is so much love. God is present in our garden. The divine feminine is present in our garden. Angels and archangels are present in our garden. Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Magdalena, Isis, Gaia, the archangel princes, They're all here. And the animal kingdom, the friends of Francis, they are here in abundance. So let us come and sit under the cherry tree. It's in full bloom. It's May. It's springtime. It's springtime. And you can smell the cherry blossom. And as you sit in the garden, it's early afternoon. And the sun is at its best, but you're shaded from the direct rays of the sun. And as you look to the right, you see in the corner a hidden garden, and there you see a statue of stone. It's Mother Mary, and she's sheltered on a canopy of trees with roses in front of her. And just nearby you will hear the wooden chimes. And around the other corner you will see a statue of Michael the Archangel protecting the garden from unwanted visitors, those intent on doing harm. And just down from Mother Mary on the right is Kuan Yin, and a beautiful 5-foot stone statue of Tiara, the teardrop of the Buddha's eye. And around from her, under a tree, you'll find a statue representing the guardian angels who oversee young children and protect them. And as you come towards the pond with the waterfall, there's a beautiful 5-foot statue of Francis holding a bird bath, and squirrels and birds on his shoulder and by his feet. And behind him there are some metal chimes ringing away, creating an enveloping tone. And just across from Francis, there's a beautiful statue of a Buddha, sitting in the lotus position, welcoming you to relax. And right above the bench where you're sitting, in the cherry tree, is the monastery bell, calling the children of God to prayer, to silence, to stillness. I would like you to relax now and experience the ambience, the simplicity of this beautiful peace garden. And it welcomes many visitors who come in and sit down and are still, just like you. And as you close your eyes, you allow the rays of Brother Sun, friend of Francis, to beam a ray of light all over your body, and you feel warm and tingly and sleepy. And around your feet you've got the 3 monastery little helpers, Winston, Clemmy and Poppy, our 3 little rescue cavies. They come to you and they sit by your feet, licking your feet, welcoming you. And in the distance you can hear the 5 working hens in the back monastery garden, cock-a-doodling, quite happy, welcoming you as well. and Harry the pheasant who comes in every day for his feed. He makes an appearance, and Harry comes up to you. And overhead in the branches, you've got Mr. and Mrs. Blackbird and Mr. and Mrs. Thrush showing off their new young, whose nests are right above the monastery door in the beautiful pyracanthia bush. And all around you, nature is unfolding, and your senses are being blessed with the fragrance of the lavender, the eucalyptus, and all the beautiful herbs that we use in our cooking here. The mint, the thyme, the basil, the parsley, the sage. It's all being breathed in through your nostrils, and it's having a tranquilizing effect. And then suddenly, coming from Mary's garden, you see a young woman dressed in the most beautiful, beautiful gown of pure gold, and a crown of stars on her head. And she comes with the cherubs, the little angels of God, and they bring her to you. And she looks at you, and she asks you, why are you here? Allow us touch you. Allow us bring joy back into your life. Have you met my son? He's there, sat in the secret garden, reading. I'll call him for you. And she calls Jesus, the cosmic Christ. He puts the book down. You can see him coming. And he's all laughing and happy, smiling. And he says hello. But he's aware that something's wrong, that you need his touch. So he places his hand on your shoulder, while Mother Mary holds your hands, and between them they release into you the most beautiful energy. It's calming, it's restorative, and it leaves you feeling at peace. And currents of love are flowing from your mind down through your body and out through your feet, blessing the monastery garden. Relax now. Relax and be aware that where you are now is as sacred as here. It has the same energies, and Mother Mary's spirit is right in front of you, and Jesus is standing right next to you. They're there with you. I can see them. And there are tears running down your face, tears of joy that you've been set free from all the burdens and worries that you have carried, needlessly carried. But you feel the warmth of their love touch your heart and set you free. Relax now. You are in the presence of God, and all is well. And you are well. Be at peace now, and recite your mantra. I am a child of God. I am loved. I am loved.